r/askreddit. People with depression. What is the most stupid thing someone ever said to you because of your mental illness? Pull yourself together. People are starting to talk. My former wife. At that very moment I was contemplating suicide. How long did that relationship last? I hope you're doing alright now. I don't know you, but I'm still glad you didn't commit suicide. It's all in your head. No shit, it's not like I think I'm being attacked by some physical depression monster. How do I get it out of my head, though? Mental illness is stored in the balls. It's all in your head. Well damn doc, I thought IT was all in my kidney eyes. Oh god, this changes everything. My go-to response to this, so is a brain tumor. It's all in your head. When it's out of your head, it's called a suicide. Especially if it's splattered all over the walls, that's super out of your head. No one likes to be around a depressed person. Trust me, I know, I'm around myself all the time. Over 35 years ago my best friend told me I was too depressing to be around and I had to stop it. From that moment on I never talked about my depression to anyone. I pretended I was happy even when I was dying inside. I buried that moment until it resurfaced during therapy 10 years ago. I'm in a much better place today, and for various reasons, she is no longer in my life, and I'm okay with that. I'm 15. Things my dad has said, not all exact quotes but paraphrased. Depression makes you a self-absorbed prick. Depression isn't a big deal. What's stopping you from going outside? The world doesn't give a shit about your depression. I don't give a shit what mental thing you have, you still have to do your shit. And a bunch of other shit that makes me feel like it's my fault for being depressed. I've been this way for a while, at least a year, got worse recently, now my parents know, haven't been diagnosed yet. Edit. Several people have asked about school and seeing someone. I'm homeschooled so no counselors, and although he is letting me see someone, I am very limited in the help I can get money wise. So there's that. Ultimately, I'm pretty much by myself. Yep. Got told by a woman that I was interested in, that she liked the happy me better. This was after my wife divorced me because she couldn't deal with my depression. Yeah. That immediately turned me off. I wanted nothing to do with her after that. Still haven't dated anyone. Can't bring myself to do it. Why pay to see a therapist when you can talk to your family about it? You mean the same family that will immediately tell everyone else what I just told them? I think I'll stick with an unbiased third party who legally can't tell anyone what I just said. Right? My parents tell everyone everything. This literally happened recently at work. My older co-worker talking about a former co-worker. Well, she's now seeing a therapist. You know, because she has no friends to talk to. Laughs. My other older co-workers laughs hysterically. And then they proceeded to pat each other's back for having each other as friends so they have someone to talk to when they have problems. It took all my self-control to stop myself from blowing up right then and there. I just can't with the ignorance. FR though. I told my mom once before about some relationship issues and told her not to tell anyone. A few hours later when we got separated, my brother texted me and asked if I was okay because he heard her talking with my dad about it. That was the last time I ever talked to her, or anyone, about things that bother me. I already had trust issues, this just made them worse. You're obviously not that depressed, you're sitting here talking and smiling. A psychiatrist I saw only once. So when you're smiling you're automatically happy? I absolutely hate it when I am feeling depressed but look at a funny picture or something and people instantly think I'm in a good mood again. Memes make me laugh, not happy. I saw a horrible psychologist who told me I just needed to eat more nuts for protein because that's why I was laying in bed all day crying. Yeah, that's not it. Luckily I see an excellent psychiatrist now who has completely changed my life. I hope you have moved on to a much better psychiatrist. That's just very unprofessional. And stupid. I got this from a friend of mine. She said she knew depressed people, although by her description they definitely kept part of the diagnosis to themselves. They had way worse shit happening than just depression. And that because I was functioning much better I couldn't be depressed. Like you have to have your life in ruins to have a mental health problem. This was after I missed a week of work because I couldn't get out of bed. I sometimes feel like people just think depression is being a suicidal wreck and forget all the degrees between that and normal. There are a lot of people that have it much worse isn't very good advice. It makes me sad for them also, and I feel worse about myself for feeling down in the first place because of my lack of perspective. I started countering that with what are you so happy about? There's a lot of people who have it much better. I was stuck in a cycle for a really long time where I'd basically tell myself this. I would tell myself, you have everything lined up for you like ducks in a row. Why can't you just appreciate it? Why can't you just be happy? It was horribly invalidating. Reminds me of a quote from The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I should be happy, Quentin thought. I'm young and alive and healthy. I have good friends. I have 2 reasonably intact parents, viz. Dad, an editor of medical textbooks, and Mom, a commercial illustrator with ambitions, thwarted, of being a painter. I am a solid member of the middle class. My GPA is a number higher than most people even realize it is possible for a GPA to be. But walking along 5th Avenue in Brooklyn, in his black overcoat and his grey interview suit, Quentin knew he wasn't happy. Why not? He had painstakingly assembled all the ingredients of happiness. He had performed all the necessary rituals, spoken the words, lit the candles, made the sacrifices. But happiness, like a disobedient spirit, refused to come. He couldn't think what else to do. Why don't you just be positive? Well boys, we did it. Depression is no more. Why are you sad? You're not starving like other kids are. That's something to be happy about, right? Everyone. Always. That's what my parents said to me all the time before I almost went to kill myself. Now I can't post anything even mildly edgy without my parents finding out about it and calling my therapist. My parents don't know what Reddit is, so I can post here. Your life is great. You should be more thankful of what you have and be positive. And then proceeded to talk for half an hour about how much worse his life was and he wasn't depressed. Great, now I have a crap ton of guilt on top of my depression. Don't talk to him, he's depressing. A colleague said this of me to another in front of me. Days after I had what I thought to be a sincere conversation with her about my mental health problems. I don't talk to her anymore and she wonders why. Edit, more upvotes than any of my comments. Thanks. You're kidding. Please tell me you're kidding. Gosh. People suck. You won't get better by talking with online people that don't even know you. I actually got better cause of online people. Thank you all for being wholesome. Thank you for sharing this. Online person number 47,392. If you take the word online out of this, it becomes even more apparent just how stupid that advice was. If I knew your mental health was this bad, I would have never had this baby with you. I'm so sorry. That's just so rude. That might be the worst I've ever heard. Sorry. Oof. That should get some sort of ribbon or something. That's an insanely shitty thing to say. Maybe you shouldn't spend so much time on your phone. Always that goddamn phone. Not said to me. I overheard a neighbor telling this to his wife. How can you be depressed? You're alive, right? Get over yourself. Now she's cured. I don't understand why you're depressed. You're pretty. I've said this before. It didn't help that some of my issues stemmed from hating my appearance and lack of romantic relationships, or at least I thought at the time. It shows one can suffer from mental health issues and still make comments about mental health that are ignorant. I was told to grow the fuck up quite seriously by my former best friend during a borderline suicidal depressive episode. I haven't talked to him since. I'm sorry. That's not a pretty good friend. Hope you're doing better now. You don't need a therapist. Just deal with it. Literally from my own dad. Edited, my dad's pretty uneducated with depression. Take her easy on him lol. I'm sorry. That must have been harsh. You have no reason to be depressed. My ex-best friend often told me that. She's always been like, I have it way worse than you, stop pretending, or I've even cut myself and you didn't recognize. It's cause your relationship with God is weak. Religious people think that God is the answer to everything. and believe therapy is stupid. I am a religious person and hate this crap. Why are you depressed? My boyfriend, bless his heart, is incredibly uninformed about mental illness in general. He tries, and he's getting better, but you'd think that after living together for almost 3 years and being together for almost 5 he'd have googled some shit by now. Us during a panic attack. What are you anxious about? I don't know, I just am. There has to be a reason. He gets upset with me if I'm really anxious or crying and I don't know why. He thinks I'm just refusing to talk to him. He tries to apply rationality to everything. If that was the solution I wouldn't be mentally ill. I actually have a pretty great grasp on the irrationality of most of my anxieties. Doesn't make them magically go away. Sorry for rambling. I'm anxious. Edit. Oh geez. Thanks for the silver, anonymous redditor. My first silver is for being a wreck. Cheers. Why don't you just open the curtains and do some housework, and that will stop your depression. After you go for a jog or invigorating walk, of course. Just try not to think about it, bro. It's like telling someone with cancer, just try not to die, bro. Just stop being depressed. Thankfully, someone else was there to pick up the pieces. My mom thinks the reason I don't hear the Holy Ghost speaking to me is because I have mental illness. Guy posted some kind of new age-ish, platitude-filled type of article about curing depression. I, who went to school for psychology, pointed out that the article contradicted itself and he said, maybe we should just be a miserable fug like you. Whoa. It was like, here is this article to help your mental health, and if don't agree with it you are a miserable fuck. You're a smart guy, you'll figure it out, as I begged for help. This has nothing to do with being smart or stupid. I can't even brush my damn teeth. Do you think I can logic my fucking way out of this? Do you think that I haven't tried that before, humiliating myself by admitting to another person that I can't bring myself to fulfill the basic functions of life? Stop being overdramatic, you wuss, you're just going through a phase. Get out of bed, you bitch ass motherfucker. Goddamn, you're an embarrassment. Why can't you just be like everyone else? Me to myself. Depression isn't real. You just need to bootstrap yourself. This human-shaped pile of horse shit that I dated for almost 5 years, who wouldn't raise a hand to me but instead threw things all over the house, spit in my face, called me the worst names you can call another person, let alone someone you say you love. He couldn't understand how I could be depressed. He also decided that bootstrap is a verb and using the whole saying was too much bother for such a smart man as him. I still have a visceral, negative reaction to the words bootstrap years later. I dealt with depression before our relationship, so if I was depressed, from his perspective, it was because my brain was already broken, not because the person who is supposed to be my partner threw a dining table past my head and told me it was my fault. God, is hindsight 20/20 or what? You just gotta get up and get out there. If I could do that, there wouldn't be a fucking problem.